when I was 4 years old, I almost got struck by lightning. And without going into detail around everything that I did, because I did something that I solicited that warning from the heavens. I just remember where I was. My older sister and the other older children were allowed to play what seemed to me as a kid all the way over there in the street. And where I was, there was like 2 streets coming to a V. And there was a field of like high grass in between the street I was on and the other side. And they sounded like they were having so much fun. And it was drizzling and I could hear the thunder. And so I'm the little kid that can't come off the step yelling, ooh, y'all gonna get in trouble. Right. And it hurt that they could have so much fun over there. But I had to stay on the step. And then there were some ways that I was out of order too. There's some things that I had done that I was out of order, right? And so I almost got struck by lightning standing next to a tree right on that step. And it scared the hell out of me. I honestly think that was one of the ways the universe was like, get right, boy. And hey, I'm telling you now what happened to me when I was 4. So that's how much it stuck with me. Wow. I bring that example clear to the question. The suffering is a state of consciousness that is both having to stay on the step and the circumstances that are there on the step and the mind state of the one who is there, the 4-year-old that has been out of order, that needed to be checked by heaven and earth. And I know it's hard to swallow when people say, so you're saying people deserve it? What I'm saying is that there are different challenges that come along with different phases of consciousness. And all of those challenges can be conquered. None of them is permanent. The persecution that we think we see in certain parts of the world could be over by this time tomorrow.
Right.
No one is guaranteed their memory. One of my elders, Baba Comey, used to talk about the persecution of various people, including, African Americans. And he's an ancestor now, rest in peace to him. He used to always look us in the eyes and say, can't we just take their gravity away from them? And that was his way of saying anyone that has a chain, the chain is more mental than it is physical. But where is our mind? Because if there's a law of attraction, then unfortunately, and as disgusting as it seems, there's a aspect to what makes the predator feel so confident when they're around certain people. Well, like I know, they don't feel confident around everybody.
Right.
So that power that changes that relationship comes from the inside out. So now we know that aspect of trusting yourself and trusting the people who might be going through it with you and how well you communicate. See, that's the part of the work that must be done. And if you don't do the work, you may not see the result. Now, a sidebar to that is that, I come from the hip hop world as well. And one of the phrases we used to say is do it to death.
Right.
And even though do it to death was slang for really, really doing it and going all out, to some degree it meant doing it to death, like literally. If something that has to be done to represent yourself the way you really have to represent yourself means leaving the caterpillar to become a butterfly, Earth is like a Greyhound station. It's a visiting place. Live by the quality of your highest self. Don't try to preserve a low state out of the spirit of fear, unless you want to be identified by the spirit of fear.
Right.
Most of the oppressive forces are only acting that way because they're in fear. You know the saying, hurt people what? Hurt people hurt people. So that, how do we teach higher mental practices if we are not acting in our highest mental practices? And so, coming from, like living in North Philly and West Philly and South Side of Chicago and hearing so much of the revolutionary conversation that grows up in the hood, whether it's Nation of Islam conversation or whether it's Black Panther conversation or whatever it is that you get from people who grew up in the 60s and 70s, my uncles and men who are older, women who are older, and hearing some of the hard conversations about people who were in prison for just being associated with people and things of this nature. Oftentimes I would say, I hear all of that, but we still have a responsibility to feel and look free, because surely people fought for freedom. So now, what does freedom look like? You can't just walk around looking like you're in a fight all the time. You got to walk around looking victorious, because that's the energy of the energy of victory promotes more of that energy. So, just to put a cap on that, because there's no absolute answer. These are more like responses than they are answers. But I know my master teacher used to say to me, a wealthy person can roll down a street in New Orleans and see how some of these neighborhoods are torn up. But you look and you hear these people laughing and dancing and through a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
House don't look like it got running water nor heat. But these people are in there having a joyful time, laughing their hearts out, dancing, children running around playing. But then you can drive to one of these big, amazing plantation houses on St. Charles. And the people who are in that house are quiet. The children can barely speak to each other. The adults are miserable. How is it that this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful house, just going by it on a trolley is like super inspiring. The landscaping is magnificent. Every aesthetic, they've got trustful. Everybody is well paid. Their heart ain't peace. They're not happy. They're not celebrating the moment that they're living in. What's going on? Do they understand that they can invite the people who living with the hole in the wall to their house to party? Do they not know that joy is right down the street? Maybe what's stopping them from well, see, here we go. This is part of what we're that story of what's only going on in a mile difference in a city like New Orleans or in Chicago or here in New York. It's happening internationally too. So a lot of the people who are suffering are the soul healers for people who have all of the economic strength and wealth and prestige and status, but they're not really enjoying their lives. But the people who don't have anything have found a very deep and powerful joy. And so there's a lot of getting our act together and a lot of human stubbornness. And ultimately, there's a lot of people who are 4-year-olds stuck on that step that can't wait till they grow up. And they need lightning to come down from the heavens to say, hey, when you grow up with a sense of order, a sense of love, a sense of harmony, and the personality to share it. So I am the child that almost got struck by lightning, hoping that something of what I share with the world can help those oppressive forces back up and say, yo, this greed that I've been enforcing with an iron fist is me functioning in my lower self. And if they can't get it, because some of them can't get it, Hopefully their children don't allow the older generations to sabotage their reality. Because that's one of my perspectives on the world, is that what people don't understand about these so-called orders of the world is that it's really old consciousnesses trying to sabotage a world that's supposed to be made by the young ones. And the young ones have to, let their rebellion be real, but also graduate to a harmony that really makes everything all right. Because so many of our grandmothers, and I focus on grandmothers more, would tell us that everything is going to be all right. So now we gotta stand on that and make sure, like I'm the grandson from my grandmom saying, Nana, everything is going to be all right. I got you.